Disney's Animal Kingdom is Disney World's 4th theme park that is, you guessed it, all about animals. It's home to some amazing attractions, great food, and lots of beautiful and underrated details. This whole park in general is underrated, but that's not why we're here today. Disney World in general can be very overwhelming and scary, especially if it's your first time here. You spend a lot of money to be here and want to make the most of your time. I get it. Today, I'm gonna give you the best tips when it comes to Animal Kingdom, like expert level tips. I'm totally serious. Some of these tips I'm actually afraid to share because they are that good, but we're friends and I wanna make sure you have the best time in Animal Kingdom because you deserve it. All right, right off the bat, we are here in Pandora, the world of Avatar. This is the most popular land here in Animal Kingdom with 2 of the most popular rides. So right off the bat, I'm giving you the best tips, and my #1 best tip for Animal Kingdom is to rope drop Navi River Journey. Now, rope drop is the time of the day, the very beginning of the park opening. Rope drop is typically the first 2 hours of a park day, give or take a few minutes, but your rope drop strategy is very important and crucial when it comes to maximizing your park day. So typically at rope drop, you want to hit up some of the most popular attractions for their lowest waits of the entire day. If you are not buying Genie Plus, which we will get into here in a second, if you decide not to buy Genie Plus, I would recommend rope dropping some of the most popular attractions to guarantee low wait times, but then also to not have to pay for that skip the line service. Navi River Journey being the one you should rope drop here in Animal Kingdom. There are other good attractions, very popular attractions here in Animal Kingdom as well, but Navi River Journey is gonna have its lowest wait time in the beginning of the day. It will fluctuate, of course, so always keep check of the My Disney Experience app and check those wait times. If it's a full park day, if you're trying to do all the shows, all the rides, meet some characters, eat some food, I would recommend rope dropping Navi River Journey. Navi River Journey is a gentle boat ride through the land of Pandora, and it's very beautiful, it's very calming. I do enjoy that ride, but some people don't always understand why it has such a long wait time all the time. And that is because that ride has very low capacity. So they can only load 2 boats at a time and not many people fit in them. So it takes them a while to get a bunch of guests through that attraction very quickly. So that one always gets a long wait time, especially peak afternoon. And that lightning lane also sells out the fastest. So if you are buying Genie Plus for the day, we also recommend that Navi River Journey is your first lightning lane of the day because that will sell out before anything else. All right, next up, I know you've saved a lot of money to come to Disney World. I know you've been waiting a long time. You've got a tight budget, and I get it. I also have a tight budget, so I understand. You're trying to figure out where you can cut corners to save money on your Disney World trip. Well, I've got a big one for you, and that next tip is to not buy Genie Plus for Animal Kingdom. You don't need it, it's not necessary. You can do everything in Animal Kingdom without Genie Plus, just fine. We've got so many videos on our channel explaining Disney Genie Plus. It is the skip the line service here at Disney World. If you're gonna buy Genie Plus for Animal Kingdom, all you really need is to buy the individual lightning lane for Flight of Passage. Now, again, I will preface and say it's not absolutely necessary, but if you want to guarantee that you do get on Flight of Passage, you can just purchase the individual lightning lane for that attraction only. If you have no idea what I'm talking about when it comes to Genie Plus, I get it, I understand, it's very confusing. But again, I recommend go check out any one of our Genie Plus videos. We explain the entire system and you will become a pro after watching all of those videos. So I promise it makes sense. You can purchase the individual lightning lane for Flight of Passage, but again, not necessary. But Fry, what do you mean it's not necessary? Well, good question, and that's a great segue into the next tip. You can ride Flight of Passage last thing at night. Now, in general, in Disney World, as long as you get in line before a park officially closes, you are in that line, you can ride it. So if the park closes at 8 p.m. and you get in line at 7:59, you are good to go, and you can wait in that line as long as it takes, and you will get to ride the ride. They will not keep you out of line. This works at any Disney World park, any ride. Now, the way that this is useful is that, yes, you may be waiting an hour for Flight of Passage at night, but it's after the park is closed, so you're not wasting any valuable park time. So that's the thing that a lot of people do. Now, of course, please be nice and courteous to those cast members. If the park is closed and it's an hour plus long line, those cast members do want to go home. Trust me, I've been there. So just be nice to them. Walk through the line quickly. Just make sure you get in there efficiently because those cast members do want to go home. It's been a long day and I understand that. But you are able to ride the ride as long as you get in line before the park closes. So if you don't want to pay for Genie Plus, don't want to pay for the lightning lane, but still want to get on that attraction, you can do so.
All right, next up, it's important to know when to ride each ride in Animal Kingdom because there's a trick to it. Of course, there's a best time of the day to ride each one of these rides. Kilimanjaro safaris you'll want to ride in the morning, but not always at rope drop. Sometimes this attraction does not open right at park opening, so just look on the My Disney Experience app and be ready to adjust your plans if necessary. However, you still want to ride safaris in the morning because the animals will be more active and it won't be as hot as the middle of the day. And also don't wait too long for Dinosaur. I promise you that ride will drop in wait time later on in the day. So if you get over there and it's 60 minutes, turn around, go do something else, it will drop later on in the day. For more tips on Animal Kingdom attractions, you can watch my video already up on the channel called Never Do Again in Animal Kingdom. Next up, there is a better spot to sit on the safari vehicle for Kilimanjaro safaris. So the left side is better for seeing more of the animals versus the right side. That's just kind of how this attraction works and the route that you take throughout the safari. So if you've got a little one in your party who really, really wants to see the animals, maybe have them closer to the left side so that they can see, the lions, the flamingos, the hippos, and alligators. So if you have someone in your party who wants a really good safari ride, or maybe that person is you, I don't judge, sit on the left side of the safari vehicle.
Next up, my tip involves a Yeti and Mount Everest. Expedition Everest is the roller coaster here in Animal Kingdom. It's very popular for good reason. It's a great attraction. However, I will say you should not wait forever for Everest. There are so many ways to avoid a long wait. First off, you can do single rider. This is a separate line at some attractions in Disney World where you can split yourself up from your party. Beware, you will be riding alone, but single rider gets you through the queue a lot faster than the regular standby entrance. So if you're okay with splitting up your party, riding by yourself, or maybe you're having a solo park day, I love that too. Hop in the single rider line for Everest. It never takes a long time. In my experience, I've never waited more than 5 to 10 minutes in the single rider line. Also, in regards to the standby wait, if it's anything 20 minutes or under, that is relatively fast. So this queue is quite long. So if it's 20 minutes, it could just mean it's going to take you a long time to just walk through the queue. So if you see Everest, you want to ride it. If it says 20 or under, I would hop in line because that's a short wait when it comes to Expedition Everest. Also, depending on how you feel about roller coasters, where you sit gives you a different experience. So for Expedition Everest, if you're wanting a more, not necessarily relaxing because it is still a roller coaster, but if you're wanting a more chill experience or ride, sit towards the front. You can request and ask a cast member if you'd like to be towards the front. They will do their best to accommodate you. Might not always work, but it never hurts to ask. Just be nice. And if you want a more wild experience on this roller coaster, then ask to sit towards the back because where you sit makes all the difference on this roller coaster. Now my next ride tip has to do with Kali River Rapids. And my tip is don't ride it. I'm not joking. Kali River Rapids is the family water raft ride here in Animal Kingdom. I don't hate water rides. I'm not against them. I love Volcano Bay, love that water park. But in regards to this specific water ride, I don't love it. It's very short. There's just one drop. That's all it is. That's the entire ride. You go up a hill, you move a little bit farther, and then you do one drop, and that's it. Sometimes you get super wet, sometimes you get nothing. It's all up to chance and where you're sitting in the raft. But I will say this ride is not worth it. And I don't say that about any other ride in Disney World. This is the only ride that I would tell you it's completely skippable, and I hate saying that about a Disney ride, but I don't want to steer you wrong. I think it's a waste of time. It's also a waste of a lightning lane. Unless you love water rides, then check it out. But I'm not going to recommend you do it. In regards to food, of course, breakfast is the most important meal of the day. So let's talk about breakfast because that's a big part of your Animal Kingdom day. It's a big part of any Disney day. And Animal Kingdom might be a little bit trickier on where to find breakfast in the park, specifically not table service restaurants.
First off, I really enjoy the breakfast bowls from Yak and Yeti Local Foods Cafe. Those are really great. You can pick your protein, and that's a really solid meal to start off your day. There's also the relatively new pancake sandwich that you can get in a couple places throughout Animal Kingdom. I really enjoyed that as well. And also recently, Kusafiri has added their own kind of version of breakfast tachos. It's not exactly the same as Woody's Lunchbox, but it's pretty close. So those are some 3 solid options in Animal Kingdom for breakfast. And if you want to know more about food in general in Animal Kingdom, you can go watch the Best Things I Ate in Animal Kingdom video already up on the channel now. And if you're like me or anyone on the AllEars team, coffee is important for you first thing in the morning. And honestly, I will tell you, in Animal Kingdom alone, this is the only park that I will recommend it. But if you want to stop for Starbucks, you can totally do that here in Animal Kingdom. The lines are the shortest here at this Starbucks because it's not as immediately when you walk into the park. You kind of have to walk a little bit before you get to the Starbucks, so not everybody makes a stop there. And on top of that, there are multiple lines within this Starbucks. So there's actually 2 lines on the inside. If they're both available, sometimes one might be roped off, but just pay attention. There are 2 lines. If one is shorter, obviously go in the shorter line. So if you want some Starbucks, I recommend it here. Another thing most people don't know is that you can actually eat on the animal trails. So there are multiple walk-through animal trails here in Animal Kingdom. I highly encourage you to do them in general, but if you've got a little snack you're still munching on, you can take it with you. Now, you might have to skip the bird section with the food because you are in an enclosure with birds, and that just sounds like a recipe for disaster. But in all of the other spots, you can walk through with your food or drink, but sometimes, again, going through the bird attraction, just cover your drink, just to make sure nothing extra falls in, if you know what I'm talking about. On that note, you can also eat while watching the Feathered Friends in Flight show. So this show actually takes place outdoors. You are covered, so if it's raining, it's okay, but it's technically outdoors, so you can bring in food and drink. This rule applies across all Disney parks. You can bring food and drink in as long as it's an outdoor show. Now, next up is the ultimate tip when it comes to Animal Kingdom, and that is to go to Nomad Lounge. I feel like so many videos lately, I have been just preaching about Nomad Lounge, but you will thank me later. If you've never been, you do need to go check it out. It is a great lounge here in Animal Kingdom. It's very chill, got relaxed vibes. It has great food and drinks. You can join the wait list on the My Disney Experience app. However, if the app says that it's full, I encourage you to please go check in person, because sometimes the app might say it's full, but it's not really full. So if you go check in person, they can put your name on the list, and then you'll receive a text when your table is ready. We as a team love Nomad Lounge. We're here all the time, so please go check it out.
And for all my adult friends out there who are 21 and up, did you know there are a couple of secret bars in Animal Kingdom? I mean, they're not fully secret. They're not secretive, like it's not a secret club or anything, but I bet you've walked past these bars before and didn't even know it. Some of these secret bars even have specialty drinks. Yeah, you're welcome.
So there's actually some specialty drinks at the very back of the Harambe Market. If you walk all the way back there to the very, very back, there is a building back there that has specialty drinks that you can only get there. So that's kind of a little secret spot for you to check out. There's also a hidden bar at the back of Restaurantosaurus over in Dinoland, USA. So if you're over there, you just got off Dinosaur, you need a drink, go head over there. Now, if you happen to be perusing through your Animal Kingdom day, it's very chill, and you decide that you want to sit down for a table service meal, but you did not get an advanced dining reservation 60 days before your trip, you might luck out, because Yak and Yeti, the table service sit-down restaurant, is actually pretty easy for walk-ups. So if you're in the mood to sit down and have a nice meal, go over to Yak and Yeti, put your name on the list, and most likely you'll be able to get in. So this isn't always the case for every single Disney World table service restaurant, but Yak and Yeti, it's pretty easy for day of walk-ups. Now, this next tip won't make or break your Animal Kingdom day, but it is a very nice tip that most people don't know about, and that is you can ask for extra sauce at Satuli Canteen in Pandora. Here at this quick service restaurant, you can create your own bowls, and part of the bowl is the sauce that you choose, so if you want more sauce, you can ask for it. It's totally free. Another tip when it comes to food, we have talked multiple times on our channel about the corn over in the Africa section at the Harambe Fruit Market. This corn is amazing, it's well seasoned, it's so delicious, but a tip for that, the corn is great, but it's only great when it's fresh. So if they're not making the corn fresh, if you do not see them actually grilling the corn on the grill in front of you, don't buy it. Okay, I promise you, it's only worth it when it is fresh.
Now, I love Disney food just as much as the next person. It's part of my job to love Disney food and know about it, but just as important as the actual food that you're eating, where you sit is also important, and there are some hidden spots that you might not know about that are never crowded. The first place I always give a shout out to is Flame Tree Barbecue. It's on Discovery Island. It's got a lot of great options, mostly barbecue centric. Of course, it is called Flame Tree Barbecue, but there's tons and tons of so much seating back here in Flame Tree Barbecue. It's beautiful back here. It's very calming, relaxing, and peaceful, and you can actually sit all the way in the back. Just keep walking, I promise. Go all the way to the back, and you're gonna have great views of Expedition Everest, and you can even see the character flotillas pass by you as you're eating your lunch. Other spots around Animal Kingdom, there's also quite a bit of seating behind Yak and Yeti Local Foods Cafe. So that's a quick service, but if you walk behind the building, you're gonna find a lot of seating back there, most of the time out of the sun. And there's also seating behind Tamu Tamu. Now, I understand entertainment and live shows isn't for everyone, but I highly recommend that you should try them out on your next Animal Kingdom visit because they are such a big part of this park and I love them. I think they're amazing, but you do need to check the wait times when it comes to shows in Animal Kingdom. Most of the shows end early in the day and you could very easily miss them if you're not paying attention in the My Disney Experience app. Along with wait times, all of the show times are also listed in the My Disney Experience app for every single show happening all day long. But you do need to pay attention to the shows because they could end at like 3-4 o'clock in the afternoon. The park might not close until 7. So that's a big chunk of the day where there's not going to be any show times. So just be aware if you've got a show on your must-do list, please pay attention to the showtime because I don't want you to miss it. The earlier shows are a lot easier to get into, especially Festival of the Lion King, so I would recommend trying for the first show of the day, depending on when your lightning lanes are. If you're going to a show in the middle of the day, we recommend 30 minutes minimum you get there early. Earlier shows, you can do a little bit closer to the showtime than that, but midday shows, 30 plus minutes ahead of time to hop in this line because they will cut the lines off if they fill up. And speaking of shows, I'm outside of the Theater in the Wild for Finding Nemo, The Big Blue and Beyond with a special tip to not sit too close when it comes to Nemo. Now, all the other shows, you can sit pretty much anywhere in the theaters, especially Festival of Lion King with that fun circular seating. Any seat is a good seat, but I will say for Finding Nemo specifically, you don't want to be too close to the front because there are entertainers and performers that come out in those aisles, and so you want to be a little bit farther away from the stage to make sure you can see everything because that's part of the fun. It's part of the appeal for Finding Nemo. People come out in the audience with more of those puppets and things like that, so don't sit too close when it comes to Nemo. Now this next one is important if you've got a character-loving friend. Like myself, I understand some of my favorite parts about Disney World happen to be with the characters. So next you need to know when to meet Mickey and Minnie here in Animal Kingdom because there's a trick to it. In Animal Kingdom, you can meet Minnie and Mickey together here at Adventurers Outpost. They are in their safari outfits, and right now during the holidays, they do have a little extra holiday flair added to their safari costumes. Super cute, and it's actually really rare that you meet Minnie and Mickey together. That doesn't always happen. So this is a great character meet and greet if you want to meet Mickey and Minnie on your Animal Kingdom day. But the tip here is that the Mickey and Minnie wait time usually isn't as high as it's posted. Right now it is a 40-minute wait standby, but the line doesn't even go outside the building. So just be aware, it's sometimes hard to judge when you don't know Disney World lines as well. If you have Genie Plus for the day, snag that lightning lane, but I will say on popular days, this lightning lane does go by pretty fast. So keep your eye on it, make sure you don't miss it, and take advantage of buying Genie Plus to meet some characters. And if you want to know so many more character tips about meeting characters all over Disney World, I do have a character challenge already up on our channel. That was a really fun day for me. I love meeting characters. I know sometimes it can be difficult or you might feel a little awkward. So if you need help with that, go watch that video. There are so many good tips in there, I promise. And my last tip for you in this entertainment section is to always check out the Streetmosphere. So especially Animal Kingdom, there are a lot of great performers all around the park, some kind of live entertainment. I think there's a flotilla underneath me right now. Hey, Launchpad and Scrooge. Not all of the Disney World parks have as much Streetmosphere as they once did, which is really sad. So I encourage you to go check them out. They are in the My Disney Experience app with their showtimes. I was just over at Flame Tree Barbecue watching Viva Gaia, which is the band on the stage, and I was watching all of these wonderful families dancing and having a good time. Those are the instances that you will remember from your Disney trip for years to come. Like we always say here at AllEars, hashtag live entertainment is important. Now, every good Disney park day starts at the beginning of the day with rope drop, and even before rope drop, scanning into the park. Did you know that Animal Kingdom has a second entrance to the theme park, and it's actually pretty secretive?
Now, there's actually a secret entrance to Animal Kingdom, and not many people know about it. So while I would never necessarily recommend you eat at Rainforest Cafe here in Animal Kingdom, if you do walk over to the Rainforest Cafe entrance, there's actually a secret entrance into the theme park. There's more scanners to scan in with your Magic Band, your ticket, what have you. So if the line is super crowded, head over to Rainforest Cafe and sneak in through a secret entrance.
The next thing you need to know when you're coming to Animal Kingdom is you need to know when the animals are going to be the most active, because that will definitely have an impact on your Disney day.
That can not really make or break your Animal Kingdom day, but it can make it a lot better if they are actually active. So the animals are going to be active dawn, dusk, and right after rain. This will not only make your safari experience so much better, but it'll make the animal trails better as well. Now I know sometimes in general, Disney World can be very crowded. It can be very overstimulating. There's lots of things to look at, lots of sounds, lots of people. I get it. Sometimes I get anxious in Disney World too. So my next tip is for those of you who want to escape the crowds for a little bit, take a little break, get some indoor AC, get away from some of the crowds, just take a break and relax. And you're going to do that at Rafiki's Planet Watch. Rafiki's Planet Watch is located in the Africa section of Animal Kingdom. However, you do have to take the Wildlife Express train to get here. It is separate from the park. You cannot walk here, but it's a really fun train ride, and you can actually get a behind-the-scenes look at some of the backstage areas where they keep some of the animals. Inside the building, there are a bunch of different things you can do. You can take a free animation class from a Disney animator. Those are super fun. You go home with a free souvenir. They teach you step-by-step exactly how to draw some of your favorite Disney characters. No need for lightning lane or anything. Just pay attention to show times and show up a couple minutes early to get a seat. You can also check out some of the insects and smaller animals up close and personal, reptiles, some snakes, things like that. I stay away from the bugs, but that's just me. And finally, inside the building, this is where they do all of the veterinary procedures here at Animal Kingdom. If an animal needs something done, if they're sick, if they need some extra love and care, they do bring them here to the Rafiki's Planet Watch. There's also a petting zoo outside if you've got a little one who likes to pet some animals. You can see some goats and some pigs and things like that. And you can even find the pig who inspired the character Pua in the movie Moana. So he is here. Now, if you don't love bugs like I do, my next tip is for you on how to avoid the bugs. When going on, it's tough to be a bug, because maybe your family's dragging you onto that attraction. Maybe they think it'll be funny to watch you squirm and cry. Not speaking from experience, but there are ways to avoid the bugs if you're a little nervous about that one. I don't even like doing this show. I don't think it's worth it. I am ready to see it leave Animal Kingdom. It's my worst nightmare. But if someone in your party is dragging you into the theater, like someone would drag me into that theater against my will, here's how you're going to avoid the bugs. So when you step into the theater, you're going to sit on the far left side, walk all the way across the chairs and sit on the very left so you're closest to the doors. You won't be in the middle of a lot of the effects. You'll be kind of off to the side so it's not as jarring to you. You also don't have to wear the glasses. If you don't like the 3D element, if you don't want things popping up in your face, you don't have to wear the glasses. That's fine. There is a stink bug in the beginning, so hold your nose. You can tell when it's coming, so that it does get pretty stinky in there. I don't like the stink bug. And then also towards the end-ish, you're going to want to sit with your back not against the seat whenever he calls for the hornets, because the hornets will sting you in the back, and it's not pleasant at all. And finally, when he calls all the bugs to return at the end of the show, pick your feet up off the ground, because then you won't feel the terrible effect of all these little bugs crawling over your legs, and it's disgusting and it's gross, and I don't understand why anyone likes this show at all. These are my most prized possessed tips that I could give you in Animal Kingdom.
Now this next tip, I'm going to help you out with your Instagram game, because I know those things are important. They're important to me too. But I want to tell you, the back of the Tree of Life is just as pretty as the front, and you'll get a lot less people in your photos if you go to the back side of the tree.
Either the back side across the river, or even you can go through the Tree of Life garden. Even in the It's Tough to Be a Bug queue, you can take some really good pictures in there. Don't skip the Tree of Life trail. It's beautiful. You're going to see other animal carvings that you would not normally see. But again, backside of the tree is where you're going to get those really, really pretty pictures of the Tree of Life without anyone else in them.
Now this next tip is very, very important, and you might laugh when I tell you what it is, but I promise you, you will thank me later. The next tip is where the best bathrooms are in Animal Kingdom, and we are right outside Finding Nemo the musical. Now the theater is up that way. The best bathrooms are over here. If you come to the side, there are some bathrooms back here tucked away. Now I will say, these bathrooms are great when there is a show going on, because there's no one back here. Do not come here when a show lets out, because they are so crowded. But nice and private. You got some You've got some relaxing Finding Nemo playing. So these back here are some of the best bathrooms in Animal Kingdom because look at that. An empty bathroom in Disney World, that's paradise.
It's also important to stay hydrated in Disney World, especially in those summer months, and I will tell you the best place to get water refills in Animal Kingdom is over at Restaurantosaurus in Dinoland, USA. So any Disney World quick service restaurant, you can go walk up and ask for a free cup of water. They will give it to you. In the extreme hot summer months, a lot of the times these restaurants will have water stations out already for you, so you can just do it yourself. But Restaurantosaurus has the best water refills, and you can go watch Reed Loves Animal Kingdom Tips video if you want to learn more about water and soft ice.
Something else to keep in mind with Animal Kingdom, first of all, this park closes earlier than the rest of the parks because they have to take care of the animals. On top of that, a lot of things here in the park will close even before that. So like the train to Rafiki's Planet Watch will close early. Always make sure to check the show's times throughout the day because you might miss one if you don't keep track of it. And all of the animal trails also close early. So just keep everything in mind. That's why we always say, have your must-dos ready to go. Plan in advance. Make sure you have top 5 must-dos out of the day to make sure that those are in the forefront of your mind. You don't forget them because it would be really sad if you're looking forward to watching Festival of the Lion King all day long. You're thinking about it. You're so excited. It's your favorite show. And then you forget to check the show times and then you miss it. And those are my best tips for the next time you come to Animal Kingdom. Is there any that I missed that you would add to this list? Let me know. If you like this video, be sure to like and subscribe. And now go watch our secret to using Genie Plus here in Animal Kingdom. See you next time.